Hi everyone, my name is Jana, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. We will have a look at important levels, possible entry points of main pairs, and of course I will share with you my trading plan for this week. So on my blog janafx.com you can find an article I wrote this week of my trades. As usual, I was sending screenshots at Telegram, which also Jana FX. You can find all the links you need in the description under this video. So I posted screenshots during the week there, and in the article I have posted as usual the places where I took the trades where it could have been taken by using my screenshots. So I'm just sending you this screenshot, so it would be more like educational for you guys to learn a little bit how I use the levels, how I use the patterns and price action strategy, right? So you know what I use in my trading. And of course this week it was about 800 pips plus in profit, and I'm trading between few different accounts on different brokers, and the list of brokers you can also find on my blog JanaFX. So, and you see, like what I'm trying to say, sometimes like one of my accounts right now have some floating open trades, and I don't want to place any more on that account. Like I'm waiting for the trades, for example, to close. I'm placing the other orders on the other account, you know, so that's why I'm not keeping the eggs all in one basket. So the history taught me to not to do that. So let's see now at the account, and most of my trades as usual I'm placing the levels with my EA, which is nice to use like a tool, which is line trader. And also I made a video this week how it performs and trades fully automatically. You know, I like to use it semi-automatically. I look for my channels and patterns, and I place the levels, and the rest runs by EA. Though sometimes, like now, I'm not using stop losses, okay? And that's why now I'm watching it and manually move the stops and take profits from time to time. So let's have a look at the technical analysis now, and I want to tell you also, guys, that we are concentrating on, of course, virus COVID-19 news and all related to it. This week will be a lot of news for American dollar economical, so bear in mind that and make notes in your calendar, just in case they might have, of course, influence on the pairs. And also Brexit news, okay, for pound pairs. They started to talk about Brexit again. So that's what you need to concentrate on. So starting with euro dollar, okay, so now let's see where my levels are and what I will be looking at. So this is a 4-hour chart, and just the main picture, okay, so all of this, like you see that this screenshot I sent you, that's the trade I was taking. And so you see the euro dollar this week, it was, that's what I was telling you guys when we were here previous week. I told you we need to wait for a little bit of consolidation, because it was no way to do anything around this area, buy or sell. It was not giving anything. So you see that afterwards it consolidated a little bit in here, and that's where I could place my level sell from here, you see, and to catch a little bit of that move. So what is it now is still, if the quarantine will continue, who knows, they're starting to unlock a little bit of some rules, right, from the lockdown. So of course euro might get a little bit of strength. Also depends how bad it's going to be with US and America, and they were talking about also to taking off in America to stop shutdown. So this you need to consider. That's why I can see the moves were not very big, and the half of the week, the first part of it was just sitting and waiting for something, and then it had a move. That's why, for example, now I would still consider, if there will be like Brexit will talks back or something, and I would consider to continue the way down, of course, right? But it might turn around. So what I will be looking at, like right like this, you see consolidation. So I will be waiting for some, let's say, if it will stay and give me something around this level, then I will be looking at placing the levels. So it depends. You see, guys, for example, here, there's like a little triangle, and I was placing like sell order, right, only sell order here. And right now here, it's also, who knows, maybe I will be placing buy, pending order, and sell. but we are in, if you're technically looking, we are still in the downtrend channel and it hasn't finished the downtrend move. So of course, let's consider that should really move down first and then possibly have a correction. But I mean, it's at a very important level. Previously, you see it's been here and had a huge move up from it, and this time it's stuck there again. You see, it didn't run away from it at all. So of course, this might continue the correction and go all the way back. Who knows, maybe in this area again, right, at the previous level, or maybe even higher. So it might stuck a little bit in this area for, well, you don't know, maybe it will go and stay in here for this week, and then it will be American news. Who knows how weak they will be. That might give strength to you a little bit. So that quite easily could be. Consider that previously it's already had 2 weeks fall, so it might have a correction. So that's why at this point I will be waiting for some consolidation in this area. If not, go back to this, and if it will finally break it, then of course the level of the downtrend channel. So pretty much, guys, again, if I will see something really good and reasonable, like I've seen this week, once again, I will be sending the screenshots again to Telegram, so you can sign up. It's a free channel and it will be free, so I'm not sending all the time signals, but from time to time, the ones I'm looking at and I'm sending what I see a little bit more reasonable for many of you, I'm trying to send it to you guys. So that's where I will be looking at first. So now we're going to pound dollar, and just like I was saying to you guys, that looks like they are back maybe at some Brexit talks, and I have no idea how they're going to do the situation that actually Boris Johnson, remember, he made it law that there is no way it's going to be another delay, but they're talking about again to have a delay. So if they will be talking there will be no delay, no talks, then of course pound will drop. But this moment still, is it more about quarantine or more Brexit? You see, it's either way, so 50-50. So once again, so that's why go for some like very long trades, which I don't really like to do. I'm still closing half positions and the rest trail. Like you see here in pound, I had an open trade last week. You saw it, I had a sell, which I actually had it from the previous week. And it's closed this week. You see, that's where it went down. I closed it, you see, because it actually went back. And if I didn't close, I would be right now, again, like with very small profit or just break even. So that's why I actually had a target here, but it didn't reach. So why I had a target? Because I thought it will give us head and shoulders. Remember, I told you one of the scenarios of pound dollar is looking like head and shoulders. So, and that's why I was moving the half positions with the trading stop, and eventually it's turned around and closed me with another profit. So, what is it I'm looking for now? Of course, like I'm saying, I was expecting that continue way up a bit and give us the shoulder, but you know, it's Forex, so it's never how you want it to be, right? So, but considering still looking towards more of Brexit, I will still see pound going down, so I'll be looking more on sell opportunities. But if the dollar will be weak and who knows what the news will be from US, pound might get a bit strength and also continue and finish finally the shoulder, right? So it might go back up here and then who knows, right? Maybe consolidate and turn around, finally give us the shoulder, or who knows, continue the way up. So that's why for now, for example, I don't see anything at this moment. That's what was another option here, right? And a small buy order. Right now it's above this area, so let's see if it will start to consolidate, or actually will go with the opening of the market. Of course, Monday we will see if it will continue and finish this shoulder, okay, or consolidate a little bit more, and then we will see if it's going to be actually a possibility of placing orders both directions. You see, it's very wide, it's like 60 pips, and like I'm saying, I'm still not feeling comfortable to buy because of still Brexit by the end of this year. And that's why right now it's just a little bit of waiting time and giving me a little bit something more. You see, it was very messy afterwards. So after that, for example, see, went up and nothing. You see, it's like very, very messy. So it's better not to do anything about it. I mean, it's also looking a little bit, you see, more towards downtrend because first of all, it's still looking like head and shoulders, and now this looks a little bit like a bearish flag. Okay, so as it's fall, had a bit of a correction. So kind of bearish flag, and then can break and go down, maybe a little bit of consolidation here, continue to the next level. So that's why I'm saying let's see it open, because there is still could be a gap, right? So that's why, let's say, if there will be gap, we will see which way it will be, but if it's not, I would wait for a little bit more wherever, and I will be still looking to place in the orders to sell. Okay, so that's pound dollar. Now dollar yen. Dollar yen actually had nothing's happening. Okay, now dollar yen has pretty much nothing's happening all week. It just had consolidation, very big. I actually had orders still. I was having first I had a buy, and then I placed the sell order, and it was not triggered all week. So what's gonna happen? I have no idea. Once again, a little bit more news. You see, it didn't progress after breaking up from this triangle. It didn't progress with movement up and or movement down, and it's a bit away from this level of the support. You see, we hit here. So it would be nice if it would be just stay here, but no. So that's why I still might go a little bit down and be stopped by this and then turn around. And they were talking about some news with yen that government will be buying some bonds or something. So well, we had some reaction on the market, but nothing else. So that's really strange, and also strange that yen is not, people not buying it, because you know, when a situation like this, uncertainty, you would expect yen, buying more yen. But I think it might be because of China again. So I think following what is happening with China, with better news in China, and back of industrial things and everything to normal, I think that's why yen is not progressing. So, and it might get weak. So, in American news. So, to be honest, at this moment, I'll just leave it. I think quite, like I'm saying, this is a very good. The only is the buy order here. You know, like, because it's very nice and straight level here. It didn't have much breakouts. It's tried those swings a little bit. So you see, it's quite easily can go up, because the bottom one is also nice, but it has that next level, and I don't really like this. So let's see if the opening market will be any whatever gaps, no gaps, so maybe it will go down and consolidate here nicely, and then we will see if they will give us a nice channel and what kind of news are going to be there to see if it's possible to place both directions or maybe just one direction. See, because like I'm saying, you're looking on the biggest time screens, you can't really see anything, what is it doing, and where it wants to go. I mean, a very, very big screen is just, remember that big triangle, and still possibility of covering this wing, huge wing, so it might still drop dramatically, but it has to be something really big. Who knows what's going to happen. And yeah, so we will see, but this moment just like there is really nothing to say, and if the other pairs will give a better opportunity, so I'll try to go and trade the other ones. I had some other cross pairs to trade, and maybe I will do again. Australian dollar also did not make huge moves. You see, that's the week. So because of this, you see I have still floating open trade, and still having it, and I still think Australia is a little bit better position, and I'm keeping it open, right? So even though, yeah, I mean, it could be fall, but at this moment I still consider Australian slightly stronger than compared to American dollar. But I had a few trades on like other account. You see, I didn't go on this one, but I had the other accounts which I also was sending some screenshots, and I had a sell and a bit of the buy. And so at this moment I would say, where would I look, is because I already have it. So yeah, of course I would say that if I wouldn't have this, I would look at that quite strong level. Once again, I could have placed the orders from it, because you see, if it will go up and will be stopped by this level, like 100 something pips, and continue the way all the way up, who knows. And you see, it's also kind of more looks towards the uptrend, because it also might look like a little bit of the bullish kind of flag. So that's why it gives me a little bit more still towards it. And you can see here we have one movement, we have second, and that's why that also gives me a little bit more that it should have this good move, even like possibly to this area, and then it will have a bit of a good correction. So that's my first thought of it, and that's why I'm still keeping it. I mean, of course, it might go just somewhere in the middle and have a little bit of correction or consolidation. Of course, if it will move like this, and I will move my stop loss behind it and follow the news what is going to be, because to run all the way, have such a huge move, it's not going to happen, right? So it might have move a little bit, have a bit of consolidation or correction, and then continue. So of course, at the same time, it might create me double top, right, and turn around here. It quite easily can do. So that's why maybe if it will go up here a little bit, then I might have a bit of a stop loss a positive stop loss to just in case it will go back down again, and then I will see if I would want to get into the other trade or something, right? So, but right now that's my view on it. Of course, if it will fall, I will still keep it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not placing the stops, and somewhere in the middle where we will see what to do with it afterwards. But right now that's my situation. Okay, so that's what I see on Australian. Dollar Canadian. Okay, with dollar Canadian I still have the previous trade. I had a sell, right? So I put it in a bigger downtrend channel now, right? Using the tops, okay, the previous top, and this time this has a top, and I'm using this a little bit of the bottom. So now come out. Before I was using this bottom, but now I'm using this too, and so that's why I had another sell, and then I had another sell. But unfortunately, the next sell didn't move enough to get me out with my. I only had 20 pips this time, a little bit more instead of 10, 20, and you see, it got me another floating trade. So it's a bit risky, I would say, because Canadian dollar is not getting stronger because of the oil. Okay, we'll have a look at oil a little bit later, and this could possibly, have a bit of consolidation. I mean, it kind of looks maybe a little bit of head and shoulders, but it's a very small pattern, I would say. If it will have a bit of the shoulder and then turn around and finally go back down with, to the next level, and maybe have some consolidation or correction and continue the way down. So, well, hopefully American news are going to be not as good and we will do this, but you never know what can happen. I'm going to keep, of course, this running because you know that there is an open gap still down there, so that's why I still wait for it to close, which also might mean it will be months before it's going to happen, you see. That's why on this account I don't place too many other trades, because I have quite a few floatings, and I'm calculating if the worst come to the worst, and actually some of my trades, it will run away, the market will run away too far, then I might float with a bigger negative, right, trades. That's why I need to keep it in mind. That's why I'm saying using money management. A lot of people will be just martingale in it, right? Like sell, sell, sell. You see, if it goes up, they sell and sell and sell. It goes too much, and then you have no margin on your account, and that's it. So that's why the saying to you is like, it's better to spread between accounts, and then if you are locked on one account, you can't do anything here. I still cannot have enough, but I'm just calculating worst to the worst. I see where the biggest, the top stops, right? Because in today's situation, it can move a huge amount, and you might not be able to use your martingale against the losses you have. So be careful about it in the days like this. That's why I'm keeping it a huge margin on my account, and I mean, okay, I went into this, but you see the lot size is much smaller than the previous one, right? In martingale, you will increase the lot size, but I'm not increasing it because I worry, like, okay, you see it can turn around, and it did turn around on me, and so, okay, it's a small one. The next one is also, if it will go up, if it will go dramatically very high, like non-stop, and whatever news, like oil will be dropping too much, for example, I will cancel this one and see until it goes up here, where I have, you see, another sell limit, right, where the top is. But maybe I will do somewhere in the middle here, smaller one too. Okay, so to try to cover up the ones I have floating right now. So we'll see, but I'm still expecting it to go back down and close that gap, so which is around here. You see where's my take profit at the gap. So that's my views on the Canadian dollar. So if you see, I still have a sell here, and but if you don't, for example, if I wouldn't have any open trades, what I would have done is I would wait for it to go in here, in this area now, right? And then we'll see what kind of news are going to be. And of course, once again, because I have the gap, I would have looked at placing the sell order from this level. Depends, like if it would go, it might just go straight, but roughly it's that area. So, and if there are other news, then of course looking at this level, right, to place buy orders, and who knows, it might continue the way up, right? So it could be, I'm not drawing it right now, I just hope it's not going to be that, but it could be that little bit of channel, right, which is still could be easily considered as a bearish flag, but a bit bigger one, right? So if it will go like there, and then it will just start to drop. You see, in today's situation market, you never know what can happen. You just can. But it's usual thing, doesn't matter this time or the other times. That's how I always think this way, okay? So I have different ways of thinking. What can happen? If it's going to happen this, I'm going to sell. If it's going to happen this, I'm going to buy there. If it's going to happen something else, I will look maybe buy and sell again. It's always like this. It's either way. You never, don't consider yourself, oh yeah, I know definitely it's going to happen. No, it's not going to definitely happen. It's going to definitely happen the way you think It will happen, but it's our weight, okay? Going to happen. You might win, you might would think, and 50-50, and 50% you will be right, and 50% you will be wrong. So that's why you need to consider and have a plan, just like playing in the chess, what you're going to do, okay, if that's going to happen. Okay, now Euro Pound. Euro Pound, you see, also I'm giving you the screenshot here when that's the consolidation, yeah, right, we were buying here, there was another consolidation selling here, so easy with Euro Pound. And right now you see it's back in actually about the same area, and I was expecting this week, thinking, okay, one of the possibilities, if they will start to talk about Brexit, then pound might get weaker against euro, might actually continue the way up. So it had a good correction, right? It had a jump, then, well, kind of returned back and might continue the way up. So, but maybe they will just not talk about it yet. But they started to, they had a little bit of some news about it. You see in this area, like I said, it still looks like we haven't finished to this level, but previously many times it turned around from that area, you see, without finishing it. Like not here is a good example, as previously. You see here, in here, you see it was around this area, right? This is where the price right now, and without finishing going down, you see it was turning around once and turn around and turn around. So that's why, yeah, that's why I was telling you that here I was expecting the possibility of turning around. So that's what I did once, and it can go once again instead of, you know, continuing finishing this area. So you see it's going, like I'm saying, it's going to depend on the news, but we're going to wait, of course. What do you want to wait for? For consolidation, especially it's in the same area. You see, same area. Let's wait for that little bit of the channel. Like I was telling you, I will not go for trade if it's going to be no good opportunity, but look at this nice little channel. So if it will give something in here, then it could be a possibility. And what's the news? And a possibility of continue up, or who knows, can go down. I mean, of course, might say it could look like a little bit of bearish flag and continue the way down, but it will depend on the news now. Okay, so gold. Well, gold had a bit of interesting movements. Let's just do in the 4-hour chart so you can see the whole picture. It's first, you see, it gave double bottom, right? So this could have been your trade, and then it went up and gave a little bit of double top. So I didn't catch the double bottom, I got the double top. Again, on one of the accounts, like I'm saying, I'm trying not to get into many trades on this one, while I still have quite a few trades running. So that's where it will sell. Look, this is very complicated with gold, and it quite can easily continue the way up. But look how many times it's trying to show. You see, it gave the double top here, it's broke, right? It gave, like, first it gave triple top, but it didn't break. Then, okay, it gave a little bit of like, okay, that's like triple, one top, another top, and finally it's broke. But look, it didn't continue the way, okay? It didn't continue the way down, it just jumped back. So it's kind of like shows, I'm going to fool you. Here we also have like one top and another top. So pretty much quite a lot of things tells us that it should actually go down, right? But the news, it's a bit complicated right now, like I'm saying. I was thinking, of course, that in all of this quarantine situation, gold would have been somewhere right on the moon right now, like 2,000 maybe, 1,900 at least, but it didn't. You see that fall it had, but now it's recovering, and actually now I'm thinking maybe it's the time, and it might actually finish that way and actually give a double top of the actually top, like really big top, like wherever it is, 1,900. I have a sell limit here because, well, pretty much, of course, I mean, it might jump even higher, who knows, right? You never know. I have sell limit here too because I have a big now channel, right? I have two bottoms and one top at least. I mean, okay, the top could be moved, but let's say it will have to turn around at some point. So that's why it easily can continue the way, because this is a really nice big top, and now is the time where it can happen. So yeah, well, would it just have a strength, or would it not have a strength? That's the question, right? Is always the question. So that's why I have to say, guys, you see here it's also still have that shoulder, and this still looks like a really weird head. I would say if it's a turning around point to just looking at the screen. So that's why we just go once again for just small trades. Wouldn't be like relying on like whatever, buy and sit on it for long, or sell and sit on it. for long or something. So need to be really careful. So that's why on this account I didn't want to do any risk, take any risk, and like, you know, sit and hold, except that there were like really good entry points. So what could be considered is, of course, breaking out this level and continuation of the way up, which, like, okay, I have here based on the previous tops, but 1790, so they're talking about psychological levels, which is 1800. Okay, so yeah, it might actually go to that 1800. Okay, like I'm saying, there will be a lot of news for American dollar, and if they're not good, I can see it easily can reach. Quite easily it could be pulled back from it, okay, but once again, we all think that could be pulled back, but the big guys might think, everybody thinks, and they might push it higher. So not good option, but a possibility, like I'm saying, if it will dramatically, like huge jump or something, and then huge jump in one go, then to try to jump into the sell, right? I will look, maybe I will jump somewhere, try to catch gold on the way down. So it's one of my possibilities might make, but it's very risky, because it can have that impulse, and that impulse can continue. Who knows how bad the news is going to be, or what is going to happen, which can make it like this. So that's one of my thoughts, what to do with. So I don't know, like I'm saying, I don't know if I want to, you see it's like 500, I mean, if it will jump like 500 pips, I would presume, yeah, it should, like, you know, like a little bit higher. But they're saying psychologically 1800, but I think, well, if it's 1800, it might jump like 18 something. And so that's maybe I will have a look to jump quickly into possible sale. So we will see, because with this situation I still presume that gold only going, because of quarantine, when it's all going to go down back, it will start to recover, and I think the price will go slowly down. So that's what I'm relying on, kind of. So like I'm saying now, it's just to see how it's, again, if it will give some nice, I mean, it's a very wide channel, like I'm saying, with the stops, very hard to trade it, and with no stops it's very risky to get into the trouble, right, to sit with the floatings for a while. So that's why let's see here right now, as it jumped in, if it will have something around this area, or maybe it will go up to the next level or sit between it. I don't know, to be honest. At this moment I'll just probably wait, not go for anything, just see what is it going to do next, okay, what will give us a little bit more something here. Yeah, so like I'm saying, guys, once again, so you would say, so where do you think, where is it go up or down? Like I'm saying, with all the situation right now, I would still consider it go up, but technically it's like gives the signs of this is double top, and that's also, I mean, this is top and that's another top. So technically it shows a little bit that it should be top and it should go down. You see, guys, that's kind of a little bit technically looking. Okay, and we continue. I had a bit of a technical issue, also changed a little bit, get hot. So where we stopped, okay, pound yen, right? Here we go. We have a bit of still head and shoulders. This was a really good entry point, as you can see here. And I had a little bit of also same screenshot on this area. It was a little bit of correction. We could have, for example, buy here. I was expecting a possible given that third shoulder, but you see it's actually stuck a little bit here. There was some kind of news with yen, so follow this week, just see what they're going to say. And of course, if yen will get a bit stronger, then pound would continue the way down. But if other ways, so pound might get a little bit stronger against yen, taking the advantage of situation and actually give us that shoulder. So I was thinking to look for, of course, going here and then look to sell. I still see the pound pairs more sell than buy, because, you know, the situation, right, quarantine and Brexit. And that's why I still like to see more opportunities for pounds to sell. So if it will have some consolidation here, I will be looking to place sell, if nothing else, with yen. And if it will jump, I will look for consolidation here, and possibly also looking into placing the orders to sell. So and of course then next levels, and we will see what the other levels it will go afterwards. So that's we found yen. Now let's have a quick look at US crude. Remember, I got in previous week in one order and the other one, so I'm floating with them. They're not very big, I will be keeping them possibly until they close in the gap, but I had some orders here. The one of them is closed now with the stop, with positive, right? So I had a positive stop, but then I had another buy order here which didn't work again. By a few pips it's missed it and run away. That would have been really good, but I decided that I had a bigger lot size and it was a huge swap, negative swap. So I thought if I would keep it longer, it will eat a lot of my profit. So that's why I'm just thinking, what if it's going to be another month of floating with negative swaps? So that's why I'm glad that I actually closed that one. As this one's, like I'm saying, they don't damage much, so when they will return, even few weeks it will take, they still will be okay. But here now it will start to have consolidation. I heard something about the tankers with oil from Saudi Arabia going to America, and somebody says they should return them away. So it could be something else, I think, this week on the market, and it could possibly fall again. I have no idea where it can fall. I have the lowest, right? I have like another 40 pips from that level somewhere around here. So if it will fall again, and I will try to get into the buy orders again. So I will still look to buy oil, because we know that you know, to sell it is also risky. If you sell and then it runs away, it will never come back here, because we know exactly that it is a crisis and it might be another 100 years before it will be in the situation again. So that's why I still look possibilities to buy it, and just not huge lots but reasonable lot sizes, like 40, not 0.4 is the maximum I have here. And yeah, so let's see what is going to happen. It's also my open with the gap, so we will see. And yeah, well, like I'm saying, I'm still looking to possibilities to buy. So, but what worries me, if it will fall like another double bottom, that dollar Canadian can jump, and you saw I have now two orders out there, two floating. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. That's how you look at different risks, what can happen, right? And be careful about that. So well, that's it for now, guys. These are my ideas, my thoughts for you. I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, like, and happy trading. I see you next week. Bye, everyone.